everybody, this is Malice or Mitch, and I am going to show you how to make a customized HUD. So this is what it will look like. I didn't pre-render this, but this is what it will look like when I'm done. Something similar to this. It involves a bunch of layers. That is significant. Okay, so first you want to get your clip. I already have my clip with my color correction on it, and I already have it twixtered. We go to the beginning of my twixter here. Alright, now to make this HUD, first thing you want to do is I'm going to find out how long this is, so just about 10 minutes. So we're going to make it 2 minutes long. Actually, I'm going to make it 1:59 because I think it's 1 frame less, I believe. Okay, now first thing you want to do is come up here, rectangle tool, and round. You want to go down to rounded rectangle tool, and alt click on your fill, and click once on your stroke. 2 may be enough. Okay, but now you want to come down to this little thing right here, and you want to go to grid. See, I'm going to put it up in this top corner right here. And I'm going to drag it to where it comes to this corner right here. That looks about right. Alright, next thing you want to do is duplicate that layer. And you just want to kind of scale it down just a little bit. Like that. That should work. You can turn off your grid now. This will be your outer and inner borders. Now, this is just the borders though. Next thing you have to do is, let me come to my HUD here. Alright, next thing that you'll need to do, see, I've got indicators and radars and stuff. I may just upload this template, but I'm still going to show you how to make it as well. Next thing let's start on is the circle. The circle will be a good place to start. So let's come to ellipse tool. You want to come somewhere in here, anywhere in here, wherever you want to place it, and you want to click. And while you're dragging out, push shift and control. I want my radar to be about there. And I'm going to drag it over to here. And there's the radar. Now, I like to rename these because it makes it easier to see. So this will be outer border. This would be inner border. And this would be radar border. Okay, now we got the borders down. Before, it's already 4 minutes long, so I want you guys to know that this will be a long tutorial. So just be prepared for it. Now, the next thing we want to do is Control D, the radar border, and come up to fill, click alt, like a color, and I think I chose white, doesn't really matter. Now on your second border you want to go to effects, generate grid, come up to corner point, width and height sliders, and then you want to click on it, click F4, and click Alpha Matte, and then you get this here. But if you still want you're still going to want the border around it. So what you can do is you can like duplicate the border and bring it down below it and turn it on, then turn off the fill. And there you go. Now that you got the radar, you got the borders. Next time let's put something inside the radar. After I adjust this a little bit, I want to adjust the where the middle of this is, just so I can, there, that should be good. There. Now what I'm going to do is create more to the radar. So now I'm going to add the centerpiece, which would be kind of like the person, I guess you would say. And I'm going to click right in the center and holding Control and Shift, drag it out just a little bit and go to fill white. Should look like that. This is going to be, I'm going to rename this, name it self-indicator. Oh yeah, by the way, if you still got this up, you can click F4. We're not going to do anything else with that. Now you want to line this up where it's good to your liking, like almost in the center. Closest to the center you can get it. That looks good to me. Now here's where it gets a little difficult. And by a little difficult, I mean difficult. Now what we're going to do is click on the pen tool. Make sure you don't have anything selected in here. Nothing at all selected. We're going to zoom in. Way in here. You want to click right in the center. Right on the border. I'm going to click up on the top border here. Right there. Click again right here. I'm going to drag it to where it makes the top like as curvy as I can get it. It's probably as good as I'm going to get it. And then I'm going to click here. But if you click on this and push Control, didn't do it. Hold on. Control Z. If you have this, how did I do that? Oh, I'm so confused. Okay, let's see. Grab the Control, click. That's what you did. You hold Control first. If you drag it out and you put it in the center here, like that, then you know for sure you'll have a straight, like a straight line, I guess. That looks perfect to me. Okay, now that will be the, I guess you'd say the radar itself, the thing it's going to go around in a spin. We're going to call that radar wipe, I guess. What you want to do is on the radar wipe is add an effect. You want to add distort, transform, and you get this here. Now your anchor point, I put my anchor point right dead in the center of this here. That's going to change the position. Change this, your position to your anchor point. So it'd be 799.8. Ooh, 0.8. Enter. Bam. There you go. Now, if you rotate, it should rotate according, like that. See? Rotate. That's how we're going to get it to rotate. So, go to the front of your comp and click the stopwatch on rotation, and you want to go to the end, and let's say I want this to rotate 3 times. So throughout this course it will rotate 3 times. Sorry, my computer on. I have autosave on here. Alright, next thing we're going to do, with this I added a map, like a map into it. It's real easy. I'm not going to show you how to do the map into the center of it because I don't want to drag this out too far. But I'm going to show you how to like add the bogies, like when it pops up where the enemy will be at. So I'm going to go to my clip here, and let's see, I know there's an enemy here, 1 here, and 3 in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to comp 1. I'll click here. So there's 1 in front of me. I'm going to turn off my radar wipe real quick. And I'm going to duplicate the self indicator, and I'm going to drag it up. There's 1 directly in front of me, so I'm going to put it right about there. And the fill I'm going to change to, I'm also going to change the name. You'll want to change the name so you won't get it confused. So I'm going to name it Bogie. Okay, change the fill to something that you would say is an enemy, like red. Red is always enemy. And you can turn stroke off because stroke makes it look kind of childish. So just alt click stroke, and that'll turn off the stroke. And then you get the bogey. Next will be a bogey kind of over here to our left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to drag it where the enemy would be, so it's somewhere like that. And then I'm going to do it again for the guys that are over in this corner. And I'm going to duplicate it, drag it over, down, duplicate it, drag it over, and up. Kind of like that. Well, there. That looks good. That looks really good. I like that. Okay, now we're going to animate it to how this goes over them. So all the bogies at this point will be opacity of 0. And you want it to stay on 0. Now, forgot to click the stopwatch. Okay, now your bogey number 1. This one right here. As it goes over, right there, I want it to make kind of like a, it's going to go over it. I want it to be an opacity of 0 here. Drag it forward the rest of the way. Bring the opacity up to like 80 per se. And then go forward. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to go for a whole minute. Click 6 there. And then 0. And there you go. This keyframe right here is pretty much useless. Now, your next bogey. Seeing that it changes right about here, we're going to passive 1, drag it here, 80, and then go forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames, 0. And you want to do this with each one of these. I'm going to pause the video and finish this part real quick, and then I will start it back up when I'm done. Alright, now that I've done that, it should look something like this, where the bogey pops up right after it does that, and then you just copy and paste where the same way as you do it. So here I'll show you how you can do it, but I'm not going to repeat the process because I'm limited on time. But you drag it to right before it shows up, Control C, Control V, and it does it again, and then Control V. There you go. Does it again. And then you just do that to the same with all of these, and then there you go, you're set. Now because my comp is 2 minutes long, it will take longer for this radar, this motion sensor here, to get around, and you don't really want it. You don't want your Twixtor to be for 2 minutes. This is just to show you a way to do it. You would maybe 3 seconds would be good for it. Maybe 2 seconds, but not 2 minutes or anything like that. In fact, these are 2 seconds, and I think I made the comp 2 minutes on accident. So what I'm going to do is change that, because that really messes with it. But before I do that, I want to go to the radar wipe. You go to this would be 1. This would be 5.9. Click right there. Actually, I think it'd be 2.5.9. No, it'd be 1. No, I'm confused myself. It'd be 2.5.9, and just drag this here, and then I'm gonna trim this to there. So now it'd be more like bam, bam, bam. I'm not gonna change the bogies. You just do the same thing as you would normally. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add something in here with text, like drag it out about here. I don't want any fill, so turn off the fill. I want a stroke on of 2, and that will be an information box. And then I want to do another one, say right here, just drag it out like so. There will be 2 information boxes where you can put like targets require, or targets acquired, and you could put like 5 because there's 5 in the clip. And then right here it could be like engaging, which is what I did here. It says engaging, and it's 4 targets. And then let's see, what else could you do? You could like do some cool like things across here where you could just connect them, make it look even cleaner, where you could just, this would be a shape of its own, but it'd be like from here to here, and it'd just be a line that connected them. And then you could like connect this to the side or something, make it look real clean when you're doing this, something like that. That looks really nice, you see. But like, this doesn't have to be white. This is all preference. I'm just showing you how I did this one here that I'm going to be for a 2-clip edit that I will be uploading soon. But This is a clip found in one of Mistrust's videos. You can go to his channel and check it out. It's at like 8 seconds in. This was requested by one of my subscribers, but anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and rename these real quick. This will be info box large, LG for large, and then rename info box SM. This will be connection from LG to SM, and this could be like connection from border to LG, and there you go. Now that everything's right, let's I'm gonna add a new text layer in here, and this text will say something. I'm gonna have it say targets acquired. And then I'm going to drag that up into here, like so. And then I'm going to have another text. It'll be right there. It's going to say 5. I'm going to drag it right here to make it a little more even. I'm going to need to bring it down a little. Right there. And then right here I'm going to say I'm going to say I'm going to go ahead and go with engage. I'm going to drag this into the center of that. There you go, it's not in the center. Right about there. Engage. And then you can add other stuff to this, but this is all I'm going to do to it for now. Then I'm going to add this into my comp. It's going to be see-through, just like this. Now I'm going to go to the frame where it starts Twixtor, and I'm going to drag the beginning of this into it, and then the frame where the Twixtor ends, and I'm going to time remap this so that is where this ends. Right here is where I want it to end. So right there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is kind of motion track it to the scope. And how I would do this is I would go to scale and position. Go to here, and I want it, I'm going to go ahead and click both of these. I want it fairly small. So I'm going to drag it down here over the scope because it looks really neat when it's over the scope like that. And then I'm going to go to the end. Oh, got the spinny ball of death there. Oh, I did not trim this. There. Now here, and then I will go sorry, I'm having a few fails. Like I said, this is going to be a similar decently long tutorial, so bear with me. We are almost done. So, and right here I want it to scale up to 100%. Right in the center of the scope, like so. And it's got this cool little comes up with the scope kind of thing, but it doesn't follow the center of the scope fully. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it over the scope, like so. So I'll do this little dip, and then it comes back up. I'll drag this over, and there it is. Then, bam, sucker. Alright, now I'm going to make both of these. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that if I pushed F9, it wouldn't easy ease. It would do this, so kind of like a pause. I think it paused my capture here. This is 25 minutes long, so I'm going to go ahead and start to end it now. But this is pretty much it, and it tracks along with it and looks really neat. And then with color correction over it, you get that sexy looking. Oh my god, that looks okay. Now real quickly, what I forgot to show you is what I did to these. If you go to your effects and presets, I didn't tell you about the text either. Like if your font, you'd want to choose a font that would look good in a kind of like in a HUD, like if you would see on a movie where the HUD would pop up in front of someone's face, you'd see like this computer-y like text. It's kind of what you would want in your HUD. So what you want to type in your effects and presets is decoder. And you get this, and you want to go to targets acquired, tap U for I failed. Don't do that. Don't do that. Control Z. You want to go to the beginning, then put the decoder on it. Then you want to click U, and it's not over in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the end of it, 100%. Go to that. Delete that one. Come here, and I want it to pop up sooner than that. So at about 1 second, I'm gonna have this pop up. There, and it kind of like types in. Looks really cool. You can do that to the number 5 too. So it stopped here, so just drag this in here. Then you can do what I did, and you can do that. Go back to this one. Go forward. I'm gonna go with 30 here, and then push this at 100. And then you can do the same for engage, and you can have engage like blinking too. Like after the target's thing, it'd be like beep beep beep, and the engage could blink. And that is pretty much it. That is how you would make a HUD in Adobe After Effects. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and this is, I like this. It looks really good in hardcore edits, so this is going to be a hardcore tutorial. I didn't mention that, but that is what this is. I hope you enjoyed this. Hardcore Tutorials, episode number 4. I am Mitch, and I will see you guys later. Peace out. Alright guys, thank y'all for watching my video. If y'all had time or anything, it'd be nice if y'all could come by my Facebook channel and check me out. I post on here every now and then, and you can request videos and tutorials and pretty much interact with me, and that would be really cool, because I would like to interact with my subscribers. But thank y'all, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.